Aloha. Welcome. I'm Sean Lether, and this is Hawaiian IANDS. If you're watching this on YouTube, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm honored to welcome Afterlife expert, researcher, and author Sonia Rinaldi. Sonia is the co-founder of the Brazilian Institute for Research on Instrumental Transcommunication. She has developed innovative methods to capture voices and images of what appear to be deceased individuals, spirit guides, and even beings from other realms. Her work has been featured in international conferences, books, documentaries, and academic papers, and it continues to challenge the mainstream scientific assumption about death and consciousness. Tonight, Sonia will share her latest breakthroughs, including high-definition spirit images and recordings captured through modified video and audio devices. You can learn more about Sonia and her work at IPATI.org, and you can also join Sonia's free or her by donation Patreon community at www.patreon.com/Sonia_Rinaldi. Welcome, Sonia. I'm so grateful that you're here tonight.
Thank you, Sean, for the opportunity to speak for your audience, and thanks for having me here.
Our pleasure. We are so grateful. So why don't you go ahead and get started, and
Sure.
we're excited to see what you have to share.
Yeah, okay, I will. Okay, so, we will talk about recent advancements in instrumental transcommunication. And what is ITC? Maybe many of our audience doesn't know. So instrumental transcommunication is the technology, the way that we contact the other side or different dimensions, because we don't speak only with the deceased ones. So it is the connection between our plane of life and other dimensions, since it is through technology. That is, no mediumship is included. No, it is a technical communication developed by mainly from scientists and great inventors living in the other side and transmitting from their lab to us. So it is something really technical. There is no personal or mediumship involvement. So another thing, many people may also think that what we are doing is something new. It is absolutely not, because in the years 1920, that is some 100 years ago, Thomas Edison was the first to imagine that he could talk to the deceased ones, because he would invent a very sensible device, and he thought he could talk to the deceased ones. Remember that this time was the first war, so lots of young boys were dying, and lots of mothers and spouses were desperate. So he thought he could do something. Unhappily, he didn't succeed, but anyway, it doesn't matter, because the other side need us to have better equipment. So this would be possible only in the years 50, when it started electronics. And then we had some slow progression till, let's say, for me, at the year of 2014, when I went for the first time to US, and from there things started happening, and contacts were much better, as you see today. And now we came to a new moment now with artificial intelligence in use. So nothing is new. We're just developing something that exists for more than 100 years. So I'll talk about the transmission stations. What may sound a bit weird to some people, but I think that this video may help. I made it myself, so it is not professional quality, but it is just to show my vision, how things work. So let's say that this is a surface of Earth where we live, and these are us, right? Living in over Earth. It happens that together with us and close with us, they are, let's say, another humanity of the loved ones that are still close to Earth for different reasons. So the fact is that due to the bonds of family, love, or hate, these beings are close to us somehow. But as we develop, we can go to other astral cities. And that is, there are lots of astral cities all around the Earth. Mainly, it is depending on the level of the person. For instance, if you were, well, a positive person, a good person, you go to a certain astral city in a special, but if you were a killer or something, you go to another. So that is why there are different astral cities. But after the astral cities, we see that there is a belt of signals, which is important for us to know. Which are those signals? From radio communications, from satellites, drones, and all military equipment around Earth. So, as far as we know, Alpha is the city from where the communicators talk to us. This astral city is after the belt of signals. So it is, let's say, even more far, and they have more difficulty to access us because of these devices, these military devices all around Earth. So we have to have in mind that evolution is not an option. It is the only way. Why am I saying that? Because this explains why inventors, famous genius are now working in the station, in the spiritual station. Why? Because they have to move on, they have to progress, just like each one of us. So it is the evolution that make these inventors all together to help Earth. For instance, as far as we know, we are in contact with Nikola Tesla, Albert Einstein, and so many souls that dedicated their lives for helping humanity, and now they are together to do the same thing, to develop technology to access us. So I see that the stations, the transmission stations are mainly according to languages. Why? Because they have to communicate to us with the culture that we have in that specific place. The first station to appear, it was the European station of Germany, and it became very famous around the 90s. So there was mainly just this one. Later, some spirits, like Constantin Raudive, moved from the European station to South Station, which is the one that is mainly in contact with me. So these inventors are gathered in the other side as per language. About 2014, it was inaugurated or announced the beginning of the North Station in action, and that was commanded by Tesla. And the last one that we heard is the Asiatic Station, where the Asian people may communicate also to us. And possibly people is making this question: do spirit use devices? This may sound so weird, but yes, the thing is that as per the spiritist literature, which is very, very large here in Brazil, mainly written by the medium, very respected, Chico Xavier. In his 400 books, he talks about lots about the technology that the other side uses. And I think that my experiment is a real proof that yes, they have to have incredible equipment, much, much superior to whatever we have here. So how it works, obviously we don't know in details, but what we can see what happens, right? And what happens is that somehow these people, this lab in Astro City, called it Alpha, they are in contact with us on Earth through quantum entanglement. This means that they developed a special technology much more advanced than ours, so that they can use, possibly, we think, because obviously we don't have too many data to know, mainly about science, but it is possible that they are able to use wormholes to transmit it to us simultaneously. So that is what we see in the results, even that we don't understand, we don't know the theory yet, but maybe I think that later we will discover all these when we progress. So what is important now is to know that the communication from this lab in the Astral City happens simultaneously with us. So let me show you some images, some apparitions. Let me start with this case for you to understand how things work, how I work, at least up to here, because seems that things are changing very quickly now, and this may change. But anyway, this was used for some, let's say, some 3 or 4 years ago, up to now. So what I use vapor of a humidifier, and I ask, and this is controlled by Lisa, my friend, who is helping us tonight. And Lisa cares of contacting the mothers or whoever it is that need the communication, and we don't charge for that. And then Lisa will ask the mother, let's say, or whatever, one photo, just one photo, nothing else. No data, no information, just a photo of the loved one that we want to see how he or she is. And then what happens is that the vapor and the photo have to change. Obviously, if this doesn't happen, if it is just the photo, it means that nothing happened and no phenomenon happened. So what we expect is that recording the vapor, it will bring images of the loved ones. Okay, and I have some thousand cases to show. Something very, very interesting and different is that usually the communicators bring something different, very different from the photo that we had, whatever it was. And then you see that usually the girl or the boy or the man will become younger. And this is for a special reason that we will talk about. So just for you to understand how things work. This is, for instance, Lila's work. I had this photo that you are seeing here. She died at the age of 102 about 3 or 4 months ago. And when I recorded Lila's photo, which is just this one that we are seeing, she became like this. And then the family sent me her brother's photo, so that instead of her, there appeared her brother. And then you can compare, so that this image in the center was Lila's photo, and it became something absolutely different. And remember that this is not a photo, this is a video, so that you can follow the changes. Here, another case, as I said, quite normally, they don't bring anything similar to the photo, but usually images from the past. And we'll talk about this later. So this is a very nice case, because this girl passed, I think, if I remember, I think at the age of 12 or something like that. And look how she appeared here at the right. I think it is so incredible that this image, obviously, that nobody has, there is absolutely nothing at the internet, but observe the color of the eye, the lips. So, and the hair, now she has hair, and she didn't when she passed. So it is something, let's say, surprising for parents. Here, another case, Matthew. He passed of a cancer at the age of 17 in California, and close to his death, he was like this at left. Now, observe with attention. In the vapor here at right, you see two different images. Matthew in younger images, so that it is as if he now was appearing here with, let's say, 10 or 12 years old, but he died a bit older. So it is just to show the family that there is no connection, a straight connection to the photo. Here we have another case of Andrew, who passed because of a car accident at the age of 18. And this is, I think, is an incredible apparition. And later, Mom sent it to us, this photo at the left, to compare with the transimagery, showing that definitively her son appeared, because it is himself. It is him in younger age. Here, another nice case, Jonathan's case. He passed bone cancer in Canada, and he appeared like this. At the right, you have the transimage. And when I sent it to Mom, immediately she recognized that there was a connection with a photo that she had of him younger. and she sent us the photo showing him with a suit and tie. So that was surprising because obviously I didn't know that, nobody knew except the mother. Here, in another moment of the same recording, you see that the trace are just the same. This is a nice case also from Tess. She was stabbed at a robbery in New York. And look at this. Look at right that she appears not only in one image, but in two. You see her younger and also closer to her death. So that is in the vapor. As I said at the beginning, I record the vapor and the photo. And we suppose that the photo will change, and bring the same person when in the past. Here it is another wonderful apparition of her. Observe that here at left, you have the transimage. So if someone is not understanding, let me tell you, this image at left came from the other side, from the lab station of our spirit friends. So whatever they bring, there doesn't exist on Earth. Anyone can look anywhere, and obviously the family would know, but you can obviously perceive, identify the traces. So here she is, and in two images at left. This is Vaughan's case from Johannesburg, and he was shot by intruders, and he appeared like this. Notice now that the photo that mom sent, he was not smiling. He was, and he had a piercing, and he had the lips closed. But in the transimage, he appeared smiling. So you can see the vapor flowing here down, and you see how he appeared. This is Patricia. She's our friend from the north of the United States and from Vermont. And Patricia lost her loved daughter here at right, and from a heart issue. So that was, well, I think that all types of death are very difficult. It doesn't matter if it was all of a sudden in an accident or if the person remained 5 years in a bed. Either way, that is absolutely horrible. So Patricia looked for us, and her daughter appeared many times in different recordings. But the one that I will show you is interesting because I had that photo from her. Still, instead of her, she brought her cousin. You see her cousin at the left, and the photo transformed into Patricia's daughter. So imagine, how can this happen? It is a huge technology that we humans have no idea yet. So this happens simultaneously. As I am recording the vapor, the images are flowing. Sometimes I can quickly see something, but obviously it is all recorded, and then I will watch the video and see what they made with the photo and how it was transformed, and then I send it to the parents. Usually Lisa does that for me. She is in contact with the families, and she will get also the testimonials from mothers and those that asked us for the recordings. And Lisa will join, and we publish every week. We have no rest time. Every week we produce a magazine with images, videos, and audios, and it is every week. It is not something that it will happen, when it happens. No, they are working. Let's say that this is important for the other side, for the spirit friends. They want to show to us on earth that, yes, we live after death. Not only live, but they have incredible technology. So this is Rodney's case. He committed suicide at the age of 42. And by the way, we assisted a large group of people who passed through suicide. Also, that is Lisa's help to me because she invites as per groups. For instance, the group of mothers who lost babies. Yes, babies also may appear, even that it was an abortion, what was absolutely surprising. But think that the consciousness was there and is a spirit. It doesn't matter if it had just 3 months and passed in an abortion, but he or she had a life before, and all this can be shown in the images. So let's see Rodney's case. So he was from the group of suicides, right? We also had the cancer group, older people, lots of different groups that we try to together to help those people in suffering. So this is how Rodney appeared. Observe it, younger, well, happy. And this is, let's say, exactly something that we cannot understand, because the only thing that I had, I will repeat, it was this photo at right. So this photo became this image at left in the vapor. How was that? We have no idea of the science, of the physics behind this communication. But maybe not too longer, we will know somewhat more. Here, in another recording, Rodney's apparition. Observe that he changes in age, going to his past. So observe that he moves the head and he gets younger. So this is something as a proof for mother, because there is no connection with the photo itself. Just Lisa, after we record, ask the mothers or the parents or whatever to send the similar photos that they may have at home, and then they send, and we can see, yes, it is the same person. Here, now observe this detail. Did the scientists from the station develop a technology to access consciousness? Yes, that is what they do. They don't send the image of a photograph. They send the image of the consciousness. And the consciousness is something eternal. And one of our bosses is nothing less than Nikola Tesla. maybe one of the most famous ones, but then there are lots of important scientists working in the lab. And remembering this sentence, this thought that Tesla said. He said once, I could see the past, present, and future all at the same time. And when he was alive on Earth, he was absolutely interested in this topic of time. And nowadays, yes, I think that he learned and they are working on how to access time. Not because, for instance, we think that, for instance, I am Sonia today, as you can see. No, I'm not what you were watching. I am lots of other things all around me. I am a vibration. I am thousands of vibrations and waves in color and dancing and sound. So what those friends see is not what we see. They see something larger, right? Because they are accessing time. Now, something interesting that we discovered. Let's imagine that these photographs are the memories of this person that writes down. And what happens in his or her life, the dog that he or she had, a daughter, the moment of her or his graduation, and so on, a trip. So what is interesting and new in instrumental transcommunication is that all information remains in your memory. That is, we are not just this face that you can see. You are all the information that you ever experienced in your life. So there is no secret. Let's say that for the communicators, this is something like an open book. They can see through your consciousness and know everything that you had done, everything that you had said, and this is what will survive after your death, this consciousness with all information. So, just for illustrate, I'm making a arrow of time, a timeline going to past. And so let's suppose that these are different moments of my life, just for you to have an idea. All these images exist in my memory. So see that there are different phases, getting younger and younger, so that too, I was a little girl. So all this is Sonia. Sonia is not what you can see. It is all this together, and this can be accessed by our communicators. So that is what they do. They access in time whatever is the moment that they wanted to show. So, for instance, let's suppose that I was a decision one, and then they will bring me, let's say, like this one, when I was some, I don't know, 3 or 4 years old. They can rescue from my memories those images. So this is not only a technology, it is much more than that. It means that you cannot hide anything, everything will be forever with you. So in future, whenever mankind discover that this is a reality, everybody will take care of whatever you do, because all this will remain forever with you. So that is how they access the past, the images from the past. So it is as if everything I have ever done in each minute of my life, it is in my consciousness. That is me. And this is the fact that all our memories are preserved. This is also what the ancient cultures call it akashical file recordings. So what we are showing is not something new, but now we have in imagery what people said some 5,000 years ago about the Akashic records. So yes, that is real. We can see that because they can catch images from your memory, from your existence, and bring to us through technology. So let's imagine that the CCD ones that we are looking for will be taken to the transmission station. And from there, as far as we know, for instance, in Keegan's case, Keegan remained in front of their whatever it is camera, we don't know what they use, but let's suppose that it is something like our camera. So let's say that Keegan would be in front of their camera with this photo over him, the only photo that mom has sent. But using the vapor, he will obviously become younger. And then we can see in a photo that mom sent after the recording, observe that it is precisely him, but younger, in a moment that nobody expected. I think that it is easy to perceive the impressive similarity. Now, sometimes the communicators not only bring scenes of the past, but they go on as, for instance, in different moments, as if the loved one was growing up in front of the camera. So that was this case. You see that he changes of age as it was a video extracted from his consciousness. Here he appears close to his death. Observe that this photo, he is not smiling in the photo aside his mom, but in the transimagery, he is not smiling. So it is something different. And this photo, this transimagery, doesn't exist anywhere. Here you have some other moments of him older. So that is so curious because there happened also that not only the images of the past was transmitted to us, but also sometimes they appear older than when they died, showing possibly how they are right now. So observe that now he may look like this at the right, which is older than he was when he passed. This was also another interesting case. It is Brian's case. This was a raffle that we made, and his sister, Amy, won the recording. So I recorded with her brother. He committed suicide at the day that Amy was getting married. So it was an enormous tragedy, and Brian was gone. Now, look at this. As he appeared in his past, observe that he changed to younger. But you can also see here, in another moment of the recording, as if it was a video of his life. That means that all our lives are in our consciousness. Nothing is lost. And the surprise was this image. Observe that the photo at the right, that is the photo that her sister, his sister, sent it to us. That is Brian. In the day he committed the suicide because he was dressed for the wedding. Now you see in the middle him younger himself. Though we saw a girl at the left, and who was she? We had no idea. And then we sent obviously to Amy, Brian's sister, and then she was amazed because it was herself as she showed. For instance, look at this. This is Amy's photo when she passed. I'm sorry. Amy's photo when she was a little girl. So it means that this image at right aside Brian is his sister. So it is from his memories. So it is an example that our memories last forever and also can be showed to us on earth. Here, just to make a comparison, look at this. Obviously, I had no idea that should appear who she was, and obviously, only the family would be able to recognize. And Amy wrote it to us, very surprised, and sent her photo when she was younger. Here, another case from Thomas, and this is how he was closer to the age of 22 when he passed. But look at this, smiley, happy, and well. I think that this is the reply that the family need to go on, to see that their loved ones are alive and well. So this is something as to support the grieving parents. Here, another trans image. Observe that he moves his head, and here the photo that mom sent for comparison. Here is a very curious case. This young boy, Levi, was born in Alaska, and his mom sent this image you see at left, closer to when Levi passed. Now, observe that what I mean with this topic that we're talking is that consciousness will forever be intact. So, this is how he appeared as a baby. And mom has sent this photo showing that it was Levi himself. Observe this. Sometimes they send two images in one. It is very common in different ages. And here you are. Levi as a little boy, not a baby anymore, and not a teenager anymore. It is in a different moment, extracted from his memory. So it is something like a proof because nobody has these images. Here you have again Levi and two different faces in one image, many times with different ages, which means that it is something that we cannot explain. Not even we knew that everything remains in our consciousness. What is obviously a warn for humanity, like take care of what you do, because these will remain forever with you. So you will carry your past, all your moments, everything you said, just as the ancient cultures said about the Akashical files. So this is real, and we are showing that in images. And the question could be, but why they make this, let's say, let's call time trip to the past? First, because it is an undeniable proof to the family. Also, because nobody has the same photos that we get in our recordings. And perhaps the most important, the power of the technology of our spirit friends. Let's say that their physics is not only their physics, but it includes ours. Though our physics doesn't include their technology or their evolution, right? So we are in different levels. And now, this was something funny, and it was linked to Lisa, that is my main assistant everywhere in the world. So I was recording with a little girl, with a teenager, and then this image at right appeared. And it was so curious because it looked like an actress in the years 50 called Lucille Ball. I suppose that the Americans friends that are watching us have heard of her. She made a series, a very, very funny series for television in the years 50. And that is precisely how she was. And so, let's compare. In truth, I was recording this photo at left of Rhiannon. Observe that she's blonde, with a person, and so on. And filming her, she became this image in the middle, which made us to imagine that this image could be of Lucille Ball, a comedian of the extraordinary popular TV series I Love Lucy. I think that many of you will remember I Love Lucy. And here in Brazil, we watched it every day. It was absolutely funny. And it was around the 50s and 60s. So now the surprise is that why Lucille Ball would have appeared. And that's what Lisa explained. In truth, Lucille Ball, nobody knew, was a symbol, let's say, for her sister Amber, who passed at the age of 25. So Lisa sent these images, these photos, because it happened that surprisingly, Amber was fan of Lucille Ball and had all types of things in her bedroom. So, as Lisa explained, in 2004, Amber made the decision to convert her bedroom at a I Love Lucy theme with pillows, dolls, lunchbox, photos, cups, and all kinds of Lucy memorabilia. So that's why she appeared. And obviously, only Lisa could know about this detail about her loved daughter. Lisa or I will be sending to Sean our last catalog of unknowns. What is that? Whenever I record, well, let's suppose, just for you to understand, let's suppose that I'm recording for Lisa, for Amber, her daughter, and then in the middle of the images, there appeared lots of other child and ladies or whatever, and we have no idea who they are. So we gather all these unknowns in a catalog and we share for free so that moms all around the world may find perhaps her loved one among the transimages. So Elisa will do the favor to send it to Sean so that he has this link and he may share with all of you. So maybe in this one, this is the last one, there are 310 lovely ones that we have no idea who they are. And what happens is that many times moms recognize and then send the photo and saying, for instance, oh, in the transimage of page 20, that is my son, and then send the picture for us to compare. So we have some in magazines, because that is what we publish every week. And in these magazines, which are for free for people, and they always will have lots of unknowns and also gathered in some catalogs. This was the fourth catalog that we made. So I think that in total we have some 1,500 unknowns that are waiting to be identified. So this is the cover with the 310 loved ones that we launched some recently in March. And so this will be at your disposal, for you to see in Sean's website. And now let's talk a little bit about audio. I didn't bring too many things because I think it would be exhaustive, but you note that yes, the first communications, in truth, was through audio. I think that to all communicators. I also started using audios, recording voices, and then later I was requested to go to images, and so I did. And I sincerely prefer to work with images because images are universal. It can be recognized by a man in South Africa or in Australia or in New Zealand. It is universal. And the contacts, usually if I contact the South Station, they will speak in Portuguese. And that is a problem because only Brazilians or Portuguese will understand. So sometimes, yes, they also speak English, but I also think image is better. So let's talk about the communications, very advanced, because usually it was not as good as this one, longer as this one, but let me show you. Before that, let's remember that Nikola Tesla and Thomas Edison both thought they could invent a device. This was about 100 years ago, right? Thomas Edison thought he could invent what he called spirit radio. And Nikola Tesla thought he could invent the ghost phone. None of them succeed, but the seed was planted. And later, these would develop into what we have today. So here, between Tesla and Thomas Edison, we have a Brazilian inventor who is absolutely unknown even in Brazil, unhappily. He was a priest and an inventor and a genius. Also, he lived at the same time as Nikola Tesla and Thomas Edison. And once he went to New York and was in touch with Thomas Edison and possibly told him maybe Father Landau was who inspired Thomas Edison. We don't know. But the fact is that Father Landau now is obviously one of the communicators. And that is what we see, let's say, whenever I record, Father Lendl will speak with a very sweet and deep voice. Also, Tesla, also the same, a very sweet voice. Let's say that maybe the first person who indeed talked to the other side was Father Landau. And the proof, let's say, it is in this little book called Landau de Moura, which is his surname, where it is mentioned in a page that Landau used to talk to a little box that he had in his pocket. So sometimes he was making a mess, and out of the blue, he would take a small box from his pocket and start talking, and the altar boys that he used to work with him could listen a voice speaking Italian. So that is the first register that something happened and he talked to advice that he invented. He has a wonderful story, which would be an incredible movie because his life was extremely sad. He was a faithful person and dedicated Catholic. He graded in Roma, but he was absolutely not recognized by the opposite. He was pressed by church to stop saying what he was saying, that he could touch spirits. He invented a materialization box and lots of things that the church couldn't accept. So he has a very, very special story. And what is important, he's in the other side today. And by the way, coincidentally, today I was talking to Lando in this afternoon. And now I want to mention that in year 90s, lots of phone calls happened to Earth, made by Dr. Konstantin Raudive. He is up to date my main communicator, and in this time, 1996, he phoned me and other researchers in the world, like Sarah Stepp, Mark Mace, Hans Heckening, and many others. So it was real phone calls. What's surprisingly just happened only by that time and not again. So this was one question I had when I was in Phoenix in 2018 in a materialization seance, and the medium, David Thompson, brought Dr. Howdev, materialized to talk to me. And obviously, I took the opportunity to ask him why the phone calls that were absolutely amazing, absolutely clear, as much as we can talk to anyone on earth. And I asked him why they stopped. And then he explained because of the fabric of the world. We can understand this topic about the fabric that he may be referring to human suffering, worries, our vibration, or also about those devices that we talked about, the belt of signals. So we don't know exactly what he meant by the fabric of the world now wouldn't allow them to make phone calls again for a time. But happily, that's changing again. Sorry. Uh, this is the phone call. How it happened? It was something like 6 o'clock in the morning. I was still lying in bed. At that day, 2 days before, I bought a tape recorder and connected it to the telephone line because that is what we had by the time. So um, when the phone rang at 6 o'clock in the morning, I jumped from the bed and I knew it was Dr. Rauteve. So whenever I get to the phone and speak to him, you will see that I'm nervous, and he talks, and we will see the hear hear the texts. So let's listen. I'm sorry. Let me come back over there. Oh, oh my God, I got lost. I think that I don't know how to return it to that, but anyway, okay, let's move on. I wanted you to see, to listen, but I think that I got something like, let's say, if it is this one, no. Anyway, let's move on. In February last year, I was contacted by an American young man claiming he had a message he needed to share with me. So he wrote to Lisa and asked Lisa to tell me that he had a message for him, for me. And then, obviously, I thought, oh my God, a young boy, I think he has nothing to do and wants just to take our time. So I said, Lisa, please reply. And then she tried, but he insisted so much that we had finally to accept that yes, he had a message from the other side that he recorded through telephone.
Hey, Sonia, we have a couple of people here that they read lips, and so they can't see your lips when you're looking at the camera. So can you adjust your, yeah, or just adjust your camera so they can see your lips?
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I have to get closer
Right,
to
just yeah,
me
just
to be able to
I
show.
get it. I do the same thing. Just,
Yeah.
but yeah, just adjust your camera so they can read your lips so they can understand.
Oh, let me. Okay. Thanks and sorry. Let me see if I can come to that recording. Yes, I got it. So uh, I succeeded in returning some 2 or 3 frames, 2 slides before for you to listen. Dr. Halder's communication to me in this year. As you look at the internet, you'll find many other connections, other phone calls that happened at the same time to different persons in the world. So let me show you how he spoke to me on the phone, as clean as we couldn't imagine. So let's listen.
Sonia, we can't hear that.
So I think that it was quite impressive. And by the time Dr. Rodov phoned me 4 times. Right? So now, okay, let's move to the cell phone, which is from last year. So let's go again. As I said, a young boy, an American boy, looked for us, talked to Lisa, and he, for all means, he wanted to talk because he had a message to me. So, okay, let's talk to him. But for surprisingly, he said that he was recording calls through his cell phone from the other side. And obviously, oh, well, now he had our attention. And this is one of the communication that this young boy had and sent it to us. Also, again, talk about Tesla, about Lando, the motor. So it is something that this young boy couldn't know about this. Also, he gave some details that were not published. He couldn't know. So me and Lisa talked to him sometimes, and we think that it was a real connection that was happening by cell phone. So let's listen this dialogue here. When he answers the phone, he asks, "Hear me?" And then you see this dialogue. Hear me? Okay. Surrounding? I'm not nervous. You and don't know each other, doing us, so that we can use the technology now. No need for any language. What for? What do you mean by our technology? I am open. Okay. The sequence. And I understand. I'm not scared. I don't believe. My birthday. That's nice. Who's her? Okay, but what do you? Oh my God, that's interesting. Oh my God. So, just to finish this presentation, I want to tell you that now, something like 2 months ago, a new level of communicators contacted us, higher levels entities, and this is one of the images sent by themselves and how they look like. And this particularly is my, let's say, cosmic partner, and he is in contact, and it is absolutely amazing what is happening right now. Obviously, me and Lisa, we are being very careful so to have all the evidences possible that all this is real, because it is something so revolutionary that we have to be careful. But I think that soon we will be able to spread this new era for Earth. Believe me, it will be a huge advancement in spiritual communication. Finally, they say, we humans will have the need, proof, evidences of the life after death. And just to finish, this is my Patreon website. As we said, we don't charge for what we do. Our objective is to help not only those in grief, but also to bring new perspective to mankind. For instance, that mainly that we live after death. So it is not only about contacting a mother to her child, but informing that this is the proof of survival. So that is what I had to share with you. Let me see how I get out of here. Okay, okay, okay. I'm back.
Wow. You're just so amazing, and all this research that you're doing. It's so, I think the first question that really a lot of people know is, what made you get into this? What made you want to be involved in this?
In truth, it was not full. By that time, I didn't miss anyone, but I was raised in a Catholic school with nuns and so, but that was not answering my questions. And then I said, I have to discover what is real. Is that possible that spirit communication is real, or the Catholics are saying the truth, or the Muslim, or what? Or what? I want to follow in solid road. I don't want to keep looking forward and believing in something that wouldn't be real. So I wanted to, let's say, proofs. I wanted something solid. And by that time, I was about 20 years old, and we heard that in Europe, in Germany and in Luxembourg, people were recording voices. And then when I heard that, I said, oh my, if I can record something, that is the proof that yes, the survival is a reality. And so I started recording. By that time, we had no instructions. We had absolutely no knowledge of anything. So I started it as I imagined it, all wrong, but it doesn't matter. It took me 3 years by that time, so that for the first time, I could register something that I said, oh my, this is not from here. How that happens? That time, later, obviously, everything changed. I put in a radio, and the radio was between stations. So it was all mixed. And then I was there listening. I not even knew that I had to record. So I was just listening, listen, and then all these, that voices. And then all of a sudden, a voice shouted, water. I said, what? And then repeated, water. Oh my God, this cannot be coming from the radio. And then I said, oh my God, I got it. So that was the first time, but it was just because of that. I wanted some solid proofs, and I got it.
Wow, that must have been amazing. So, are many other people around the world doing the same kind of research? I saw somebody actually just today on Facebook, in Rome or something, somewhere in Italy, that is doing. But are there many people doing this around the world that you know of? Have you met them or no?
Yeah, no, I know. I think that all of them, they are not too many. I think that instrumental transcommunication require a dedication, and people doesn't have too much time maybe because of that, or they are not as interested in having solid proofs as I need. So what's important for me is that I spread what I do. And obviously, if people think that it can be true, they can try and obviously obtain their own results.
So, so there's several people that have messaged me that they'd like to learn how to do what you're doing. Do you teach people that if they join your Patreon, or have you done workshops, or maybe we could do a workshop and teach people how to do this?
I did, but
You
not
did.
anymore. There is no time for that. I'm happy.
No time.
Yeah, no. But look, for instance, last year, me and Lisa, she was with me, we went to New Orleans in US. And then I made a presentation and a workshop, and I recorded with each student, and with everyone, there appeared something. So it was absolutely amazing because it was an workshop outside of my lab, and still it worked perfectly. So, but unhappily, as I said, I produce about one magazine per week, and that is a lot. Sometimes I nearly get crazy because, for instance, yesterday I made a recording with Konstantin Raudive using a new technique, and then oh my God, when I listened the 20 minutes that I recorded it too much, but anyway, I got 46 replies. So I have to type everything. So it is so much. But yes, we are doing what is possible.
That's wonderful. Could you explain? So a lot of people don't know who Kardec was. They don't know what Spiritism is, and that Astral City. And by the way, for those of you guys watching, if you've heard about Astral City, the movie, that's very similar to what she's talking about. And many near-death experiencers have experienced what's very similar to what is in the movie Astral City, which you can find free on YouTube or other places. But could you talk just a little bit about that? Because, you know, I didn't even know when I learned who Alan Kardec was, you know, because there's a really good show on Netflix about him. I was amazed, and the books that he has written, just for all you to know, he basically would get several mediums and ask them questions, and where the answers were the same, he wrote them down. And so he created all these books, which you can actually download for free. And now, isn't that like the official religion or something in Brazil?
Yes, perfectly. Allan Kardec was the one who gathered all information, and he has, I think that the book that you mentioned is the Spiritist book.
Yeah.
And it has about, I think, 2,000 questions of ordinary things about the other side, about their lives, what they do, how they live. So it is a very interesting and important book for those who is interested in this. And as you said, it can be seen by free at the internet. But yes, it became popular here. I think that our culture is more familiar to those sensible things. For instance, if you compare people from Europe or even Americans are a little more exigent. So they will say, oh, maybe, I don't know, I want proofs. And that is precisely what we are getting now, just to show through images and voice that can be analyzed. In truth, what is important is that what we record are digital files, and these can be investigated. We already tried, and we have some results made by a forensic expert, but obviously it is not easy to find someone who will sign something on behalf of the survival. So but everything has its time. And
Right.
I think that time is arriving now.
Oh, definitely. I agree. Um, so your newsletter, and if people join, they can actually see videos of what you're doing as well, right?
Yep.
Yeah, because somebody wanted to know how, because the images form or in the
Paper.
humidifier, right? And
Yes.
vapor.
Yeah. Yes. I every week I talk to people and I show in the magazines everything that was recorded that week and what we can learn from it. For instance, what talk about today about the memories of the past. It is something that you have to get extract from the fact. Let's say that the fact that I had are the images of the past, but and then what? What does it mean? So you have to think, and then I express my opinion and my thoughts, my considerations about what is happening. So that is what our magazines are. And for instance, this week I'm working in a very interesting one because I I am referring to this new revolutionary moment now that is happening here, and I compared with the first phenomenon that happened before 2000, and it was just the same phenomenon. It is absolutely amazing because I followed it there that time closely. So I knew, I saw images coming to the computer by the time in black and white, horrible resolution, but clear enough to be identified. And that was happening mainly to Meg Harsh in Luxembourg. And as I said, this phenomenon just happened that time, and now it's back. So it was 40 years for the other side to develop again new technology to reach us the same way they did 40 years ago.
So somebody would like to know, and maybe you could just briefly explain how your little setup, because they'd like to know what kind of material do you place near your images, and is there light behind? And are you just using a normal humidifier also?
Yes, those ones that we buy at the drugstore. And yes, there is a video, a documentary about my work where the video producer came here and he filmed me recording. So I think that that is the best reference because he got the images from me working and the results.
And
What?
that's the one that Sonia or Sandra produced, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. I stuck that in the chat for everyone. So if you go to the chat, that'll and click on the documentary that Sandra
Yeah.
Champlain produced.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, great. Okay, and for everybody also that's wanting to know more, if you join her Patreon, which is it's only $10 a month, she
Right.
doesn't charge to do all
Right.
this stuff, but you do a drawing like once a month, right? Of your members. Is that how it works? If somebody wants a photo, you like do a drawing once a month or something?
Yes. In truth, it is $5. And I think that it is
Oh, it's five, not 10?
five.
Oh,
No,
oh, sorry. Good. I'm glad.
you can give 10 if you want.
Okay.
So,
So selecting by raffle has just been something that we've been trying for a few months. So it just morphs all the time. We used to pick groups. Then we started to do a raffle. And right now we're taking a little bit of a pause because Sonia is up to her eyeballs in her new phenomenon. So we just kind of have to take a break for a bit, but we'll be doing it again very soon.
Yeah. So how long does it take you to do one experiment, to set it all up? And
well, if I understood the question, well, I think that we have to consider first that our technology is absolutely primitive. And but the other side, do the possible for using what we have. But I would say that perhaps 98% is produced by the other side. Our end is just 2%. That is absolutely not important at all. What they need from us is seriousness, honesty, and dedication, and nothing else, because it is technical. They don't need our technology, they use theirs. And there is obviously much superior, much more advanced. So that's important for people to understand that the personal vibration, the person himself or herself is what will make the link with the other side, and will find communicators with our in connection with, can synchronize with you. So this is the most important part. The technology is a second topic. And then, but now replying your question, for instance, if I'm using recording images, which is easier, that is the proof that it doesn't depend on me or our technology, because I will start the vapor, and it will be the cloud, and then in this cloud, I possibly will use some light, because I change every time, because to research, I think is this, you cannot keep repeating everything, because you have to move. And then the images start forming on the vapor, and you sometimes, as I said, sometimes I can see, oh, let's suppose the loved one, oh, he got younger, but that is absolutely so quick that, thanks God, it is being recorded. So I will see in the following day. So that is something absolutely simple. And for instance, when I went to New Orleans and Lisa was there with me, I used the vapor, yes, that I could carry. It was not something big. I could carry in the bag. And also I took some brilliant fabrics. And this is, you have something here, let me see, here. This is a fabric that I can use, and they will project and create images. And that is what I do. I gather all this information every week, and we spread in a magazine with the video that happened, and lots of images and testimonials and everything. So that is what my images are.
So somebody wants to know, do you take any precautions or protect yourself, or like, have you ever had negative or lower level energies come through?
No. Why? Because it is just as I said, you contact with, it is similar to you, what has the same intention to you. So there is absolutely no need to fear. If you are serious, if you are taking it for a good purpose, there is no reason to fear. No, never. I never worried about it. All the time, I know that Dr. Rowdy will speak, or Dr. Landau, or that they will make the magic of the images, because I'm amazed at myself. It is not something that you can say, oh, I'm used to it. I'm not surprised anymore. No, every time I'm surprised, because they bring technical details that inform you about their life. So it's not just the images.
Yeah, and it's kind of magical, isn't it? Like, to me, the stuff they can do on the other side, it's like, wow. Yeah, so and so that makes sense that that you have high vibrations, and you're entering into that, so that makes sense. And so yeah, hopefully that person who asked that question can understand, because that makes complete sense to me. So So if they join your Patreon group, you do the drawings every once in a while, but you're pausing that for a little while, right, Lisa? But that's probably one of the best places to oh, so there's one other question that's kind of interesting. So has any of the spirits that have come through projected like maybe a past life memory?
Mm, if you refer to the coordinators like Tesla, yes, he appeared younger, smiling. What was itself a proof because at Tesla's time, as an inventor, he couldn't appear in a photo smiling. That was not what they expect. So all the photos that you can see at the internet, they are serious, not smiling. And in now, he's appeared smiling. But yes, Dr. Lander appeared much younger, and Dr. Raudeve many times, as I said, he is still my main communicator. So yes, sometimes they appear younger, but mainly in truth, I dedicated the time more to persons who suffered a loss, and not but when the coordinators want, they appear. But usually I don't record with them. They will be working in the other side to transmit about a loved one.
Yeah. Awesome. So people want to know, are you going to come to the US anytime soon to
No, I don't think so, because you know what? I think that after COVID, I think that I said no. It is
right.
and if I go into a trip, for instance, it will take me 15 days before preparing everything and returning and getting everything. So no, I don't have time for that. I think that the other side is in such a rush that we have to move. We cannot stop. And, time is passing by. So possibly I will not. But I think that there is a lot of material to spread and to learn. So that's fine.
Yeah, yep. And you're doing important work. It's Portuguese that you speak, right? That
Yes.
language. Yeah, we have a lot of Portuguese here in Hawaii. So if you ever came to Hawaii, you'd feel right at home. We have like Portuguese restaurants and
Oh,
malasadas and
well, I think I don't know obviously Hawaii, but I think possibly it is the most beautiful place in the world. I don't know it, but the image that is behind you, oh my God.
it is pretty nice here. I'm grateful. I didn't choose it. I had my NDEs that made me had to stay here. And now I wouldn't leave. I love it. It's just the most amazing place.
I
So
wouldn't leave if I was you too. I also be remaining in Hawaii.
yeah. Yeah, so Sonia, I just want to thank you so much. I'm just so grateful for all this work that you are doing, and I'm excited to see more of what you do because I know you're just doing the amazing things. And Lisa, thank you for helping us, and David, thank you for helping. And if you guys have more questions for Sonia, when we get the replay up on the Hawaiian Islands YouTube channel, you could put your questions there and she could answer them, or you can always go to her Facebook page and ask questions there. And but I just got to thank you again, and thank you for staying up late. It's midnight where you are, right?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. We are working.
Yeah.
I thank you for the opportunity. And Lisa or me will send you the catalog link so that your audience can have a look. And
Yes.
if someone is lucky to find some loved one there, we would be pleased to know.
Yes. That would be great.
The
So,
link is in the chat.
oh, great.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
So,
And I'll put that link in the groups also on Facebook so that the people can check. So again, thank you. Thank you everybody for spending the night with us, and look forward to seeing you all soon, and want to say aloha, and we will see you all soon.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Sean. Bye-bye.